If you're the type of kid who built whole cities out of Lego blocks in his bedroom, look into civil engineering. Civil engineers engage in projects to build real cities, from roads and bridges to tunnels, public buildings, and sewer systems. Projects typically have three phases: pre-construction planning, implementation, and infrastructure maintenance. Each phase requires a different skill set and mentality. This means that the greatest strength a civil engineer can have is the flexibility to adjust to various issues at any given moment. The pre-construction phase begins with surveying land. Creativity and problem solving are needed in this phase, as this is where project designs are proposed and evaluated. A good civil engineer will design a project that is optimally suited for the client's needs, and he will pick a location that best serves this purpose. After deciding on a project and location, civil engineers must review plans, reassess funding and needs, make decisions about schedule, materials, and staff accordingly. This requires a civil engineer to be practically minded and to find a compromise between a client's needs and what is economic and feasible. Implementation is where construction begins, and many civil engineers spend considerable time on site reviewing progress and coordinating construction. One engineer said, "Sometimes you live out there for 2 or 3 days at a time. Problems must be solved on the spot, and civil engineers must be meticulous for the project to be successful." Infrastructure maintenance, which includes stress tests, evaluations, and ongoing support, takes place after construction is finished. Once again, civil engineers must have an attention to detail, as well as the ability to pinpoint their own mistakes. This can be one of the most difficult things to do. Finally, civil engineers move back to their offices to wrap up all paperwork and make final adjustments to the project. More often than not, this portion of the project requires the most patience, although it may take the shortest amount of physical time. Hours can be long and deadlines are firm. Government funding cuts can destroy a project, while weather throws it off schedule. If the timetable degenerates, an engineer must overcome scheduling obstacles with practical creativity. The ability to adapt to change is crucial to a civil engineer. Although civil engineers don't know when or where their next project will be, this doesn't seem to faze them. Projects can last up to 10 years, so it's not exactly like you're moving every week, one civil engineer has said. Civil engineers must be continually ready to tackle any project, big or small. In conclusion, the most important part of being a civil engineer is the ability to adapt to change. Whether it be indoors, outdoors, rain, shine, big, small, civil engineers approach every problem with poise and professionalism. They are trained to be dynamic. They are prepared for change.